Hey, I'm Sarah Gonzalez. It's Friday. Welcome to the news and why it matters. Before we get to the top stories, I would just like to say, for the record, that I came in wearing a Cowboys jersey. Just for Stu. I know Stu's not here, but I wanted to wear this just for Stu in honor of the Cowboys' victory, and I was told by wardrobe that I was not allowed to wear it. So I had to change. But
obviously not a Cowboy fan, obviously.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
what's going
exactly.
on here.
Exactly.
Obviously paid off by
So,
Stu.
just for the record, I would like the record to reflect that. Pat Gray is with us. Pat, what is your top story?
I think our embrace of some amazing societal changes here. Yeah, we seem to have just welcomed everything now.
All right, great. Inclusive. Jeffy Fisher's also here.
Thank you. I'd like to talk about our trust of the food industry in this country.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
We've put a lot of trust in people that maybe we shouldn't have.
Okay, all right. Jason.
Really near and dear to my heart and very serious, but the Dallas Cowboys beat the 13 to 10. You know what I'm saying? So we're the best team in football. They were the best team in football. So obviously we are the best team in football. That's kind of how these things work.
Logic.
Not really. Go ahead.
So the bomb, the Muller bomb, I guess Michael Cohen bomb that dropped yesterday, had some interesting timing to it. This is the second time this has happened this way, and I'm just going to kind of go through all that.
Okay. Nice. All right, great. Before we get into all of that, want to thank our sponsor, Riduzone. The holidays, well, they've already approached. We already had Thanksgiving, and maybe some of you, I don't know, gained 30 pounds eating, engorging yourself with Thanksgiving food.
40, 50.
Oh, really? That high?
Yeah, just a few.
But then you've got Christmas parties, you've got your office Christmas party, then you've got your family Christmas party, you've got Christmas Eve, you've got all the leftovers afterwards, you've got New Year's, you're going to eat yourself crazy there. You need Riduzone in your life. Riduzone, whether you're just trying to maintain or you've got some weight to take off, Riduzone can help with both of those things. It boosts your metabolism and it helps you feel full, so you're not just constantly stuffing your face or going to the pantry looking for your next snack. I use it. I love it. I highly recommend it. And this is coming from a former fat girl, so I'm not just over here just trying to tell you guys what to do without having done it. I know what it's like. So you can go to riduzone.com and use promo code THEBLAZE to get 30% off of a 3-month supply. And Pat, you told me it's actually $1.39 a day if you do the math. That's crazy cheap. That's cheaper than like going to get a Starbucks coffee every day. So invest that in your health. It's riduzone.com, promo code THEBLAZE. Pat, we're welcoming new changes in society.
Yes, and I think it's time we had a conversation, because the left always wants to have a conversation.
Yes.
They're just starting conversations about everything now. Can we have a conversation on whether or not it's healthy to encourage transgenderism and drag queen or kingism when you're a child? I mean, a child. Look at how Good Morning America, and Michael Strahan in particular, celebrates this 10 or 11-year-old kid in drag. This is really beautiful.
And if you haven't heard the name Desmond Napolis, get ready for this trailblazing 11-year-old drag kid who RuPaul is calling the future. His bravery is inspiring so many. We're going to talk to him in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at his amazing story.
Amazing story.
See, this was
I'm Desmond. I'm 11 years old, and I like pizza, trains, and drinking root beer since it's caffeine-free. I also do drag, and I love to put on makeup, dresses, and wigs, and of course, jewelry if necessary. My full drag name is Desmond It's Amazing. I feel very happy to have a mom that accepts me.
It really touches me deeply that there are other children out there that he's reaching and they're listening to him and he's influencing them to be themselves.
I'm very proud of him. I'm proud that he's found his path so early.
He's not teaching them to be themselves.
That's beautiful. Is that beautiful?
No.
No.
It's horrifying.
I mean, if he's a girl, I guess he's being himself, right? I don't know. Is it okay to encourage this? And he started doing this when he was 6.
Yeah.
You're 6 years old. Are you serious? You're going to encourage that and in fact, promote that and then try to encourage other kids to do the same thing at 6 years old? I think we need to have a conversation about whether or not this is healthy for children.
We absolutely
really do. 5 years ago, this was considered a mental disease. It was a mental disorder called. The drag queen thing is somewhat different from the transsexual thing, which I've also got a story on that's unbelievable.
That sure is.
But I think we need to talk about what's healthy for these kids and what their parents and society and Michael Strahan is encouraging. It's unbelievable to me.
It's child abuse.
I think it is.
When did it become taboo to just enforce right and wrong, to teach right and wrong to kids or to anybody really? And there's this like plague of relativism. You know, like, so basically, whatever is good or bad is relative to whatever Sarah thinks is good or bad. But then that has to be relative to whatever Pat says is good or bad. So
No,
regardless,
it's just whatever.
It's just whatever, right.
So it stops.
So it stops right there. But let's say, if Sarah thinks that murder is okay, but in this culture of relativism, then I also have to agree that that's okay. No,
Right.
You have to stand up and say that these things are wrong.
Like, I mean, we're not supposed to say anything about this. We're not supposed to. But
Well, you're
we
supposed to
don't-
love. You're supposed to
You're
love
supposed
it.
to love it.
Supposed to love it.
And we
he's a
don't
cute
all
kid.
have to love it. I don't have to love that.
But he's just a kid dressing up like a girl walking down a runway.
Right. And that's great.
We have all dressed up like a woman.
No.
Walked down a runway before. I know I have on this very network.
Well, I also love how he says, I have a mom who accepts me. I mean, of course, as a mother, I can say I accept my son, I love him unconditionally. However, if he is behaving in a way, disrespectfully, or, he can't just get away with claiming whatever he wants, and I say, oh, okay, that's okay, honey, because that's just what you said.
Right.
There's a difference.
Okay, but if your son decided, I'm just going to wear mom's dress and her shoes and walk down the stairway, why? Well, just for...
I mean, has he tried on my high heels before when they're sitting in the bathroom?
If he hasn't, there'd be
Absolutely.
something wrong, yes.
He also asks me to, can I put some of that makeup on? Oh, because it's sparkly. It looks cool. I'm not going to indulge him and say, yes, honey, you can put makeup on. I say, no, makeup is for
Chucky's disappointed in you, Sarah.
I'm a bad mom now? I'm a bad mom now?
We're going to go over to Jason's relativism in a second.
Let's get some glitter for Jeffy today. So that,
I mean, it's
Wow,
because it's
we're
important
done.
that he knows that.
yeah.
Actually, it's funny because working here, and I say, well, makeup is for girls, and he's like, well, no, it's not. I see
Yeah.
you guys at the
Put makeup-
studio,
right.
so then I
That's
have to go
true.
into, okay, for TV is different, but
But it's interesting because one of the things the parents say is we allow him to do what he wants. Well, that's not the job of a parent to
Right.
allow him to do what if he wants to eat ice cream every morning for breakfast, you're going to allow him to do what he wants? You'll look like this. You look like this and this. And you don't want that with your kid, do you? I mean, it's the parent's job to help guide them. And there are certain things that are inappropriate, and I guess drag queens are completely appropriate no matter what age now.
Yeah, I mean, we fought through that big,
don't
right? I mean,
know.
RuPaul's been walking the fire for that, and now has the
Yeah.
shows on Netflix.
And it's
now has
supposed to
the
be
show
fine for
kids on
everybody
Netflix.
at all times.
I think some of them would also look scary to children.
Yeah.
I mean, some
Right.
of them, the way that they,
Oh my
they
gosh.
dress and the makeup that they wear,
know.
I'm kind of freaked out by it. So I can imagine a young
Yes,
child.
definitely.
And it's just ridiculous though that you can't teach it. Like, it's taboo now, like in society, to say, oh, if he wants to do this, then it's all on him, and it's what he wants to do, it's what he wants to be.
Right.
No, you can say that this is wrong.
That's a
There
child.
It's a child. There are differences between men and women and boys and girls.
Yes.
And again, think about where this goes eventually. If everything is fine as long as it's okay with you, because that's who you are, then nothing will ever be right and wrong. There will never be. There are sins. There are
Right.
there are things that are against the law, and there are things that are not against the law.
Well,
And then when he's 21, if he wants to dress up as a girl,
Right.
well, then that's his thing, right? But he's 11.
Yeah.
He doesn't know this stuff yet, right?
Only what
Jeffy,
your
this
parents
is not
teach
right.
you, right? Where's he wrong, Jeffy? I mean, he would only know how much his mother is pushing it, right? Because I mean, a
and
kid
dad.
is not. Yeah, because a kid is
Yeah.
not going to inherently.
oh,
A young boy is not going to inherently
yes, they
be
have
like.
absolutely nurtured him and pushed him into this, and he likes to dress.
Absolutely.
And they've been dragging him along for 5 years. I mean,
And is it
more,
healthy?
I think.
Right, which is
And, you know,
can you agree that's wrong?
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you for that
What
resounding.
a powerful, powerful stand
Agreement.
you just
I,
took.
I'm going to take
Wow.
that strong away.
Well, I mean, to take this a little bit further, there's a Texas father that's fighting right now.
It's infuriating.
His son is in court because his wife, his ex-wife, claims that their six-year-old son is a transgender girl. And the father is like, well, No, he's not. He always chooses to dress as a boy when he's at my house. He identifies as a boy when he's at my house. And the mother says, no, he insists on being a girl. She has enrolled him in first grade as a girl named Luna. She obviously has taken the father to court, and at home with his mom, he always wears girls' clothes. And then they ruled against the dad. The father has been legally barred. Get this, in Texas, the father has been legally barred from speaking to his child about sexuality and gender from a scientific or religious perspective.
That alone should be
Scientific
that alone should
or
be
religious.
illegal.
So you can't say to your son, when you have a little boy unit right there, it's a little outie,
Right.
not an innie.
That means you're
You got an outie, that means you're a male. You're a boy. Okay, we dress you in boy clothes. You can't say that.
He's 6 years old.
And then the religious
That
oppression.
is a crime.
He's 6.
That should be criminal. That actually is criminal.
This is
yes.
harmful.
That
This is
very
child
harmful.
abuse.
And
This
she's
is wrong.
the mother has taken the boy to the gender dysphoria expert.
Yes,
who is
friendly to
this.
gender dysphoria.
Right. I mean, we'd be interested to see if anyone who goes to this gender dysphoria expert comes away with, oh no,
Right.
I'm just
Never.
Right.
I
Never.
doubt it.
And you'd like to see the son go to a neutral therapist.
Yes.
Yes.
Somebody who doesn't really have an agenda.
I feel bad
see
for
what
I feel
happens.
bad for the boy. That
Imagine-
boy is so
Oh, yeah.
torn between
Oh,
the
yeah.
parents now.
Imagine the things that a 6-year-old identifies as that people laugh at, and everyone surrounding this case would laugh at. Like my son identified as a Marvel superhero.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
know, like,
Superman,
literally-
Spider-Man,
You gonna let him
whatever.
jump off a building and see if he can
We
fly?
had to
Mine was
stop
a
him
cat
from
this
diving off
morning.
the bunk bed. He
Yeah.
literally did. I mean, just because they identify these things as these
Doesn't make
things,
them that.
Doesn't make them that. And they would
Right.
they would recognize that on
Right.
anything beyond LGBTQ
Yeah.
elemental P stuff.
Right.
This is
I have to say, I can't imagine why they got divorced.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine why.
No, they sound like a happy couple.
It's a very happy couple.
She sounds very sane,
Sane.
I must say.
man.
Before we get into food, let's go ahead and take a break because I have a feeling we might have some things to say on that. Back in a minute.
Jeffy has things to say about food? No.
I like that you have a guest here.
Oh.
Before we get into what's going on in the food industry, I want to thank our sponsor, Relief Factor. I was in a car accident in 2013, and I have a bunch of protruding and herniated discs in my spine. So Relief Factor was a godsend for me. Jason, I know that you have taken Relief Factor as well, and you've seen results.
Yeah, I tell you what, the military destroyed my knees, and especially to all you veterans out there, if you're hurting like I was, if your shoulders are hurt, carrying around those packs.
Okay, well now
your
you make me feel
knees,
really stupid for
everything.
saying I was in a car accident.
But it's the same thing. It's the same kind of pain. Debilitating pain is it destroys you no matter what. But I
Yes.
mean, I was in the same boat, and I couldn't run anymore. I really couldn't. And my thing was running 3 miles a day. I got used to that in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Started
You know there's
Relief
cars, don't you? There's cars now.
It's
You
just
don't-
not as good for your health.
Well, and I tried acupuncture, I tried massage therapy. Nothing gave me lasting results except Relief Factor. I know Glenn is a big proponent of it as well. He was in terrible pain all the time, and Relief Factor has worked for him better than any kind of prescription drug, pharmaceutical drug, and you know that you're putting natural stuff into your body. Go to relieffactor.com, get your 3-week quick start pack for $20. That's $19.95. Just think you can spend $20 and possibly get out of pain. It's like 75% of the people who buy it, they buy it again and again and again. So it's obviously working for them. The odds are in your favor. That is relieffactor.com, or call the number at the bottom of your screen. Jeffy, the food industry, what is going on?
I'm just kind of torn because I don't know whether I should be scared and not eat, or if I should just be okay and it's good. I mean, we have the stories.
I think I know which one you're going to do.
Well, I've started with the London Metropolitan School of Human Sciences that tested these McDonald's touchscreens.
Can I just tell you really quickly, I have been dying to get to this story for the 3 days straight. And and I was so happy when I saw that you were going to talk about this.
So they tested these 8 McDonald's, their touchscreens, for any kind of disease or bacteria. And
Let
they
me
all,
guess, worse than a toilet seat.
Oh, yeah, bad, bad. And of course, the headline is, poo on the touch screens. But really, there was very little poo.
Well, there was feces on all of them.
There was feces on the touch
All
screen.
of them.
But a bunch of
How
other
does that
stuff
happen?
too. That
Is somebody pooping on their hands and then going on the?
Yes.
Really?
And what they're saying.
Finger painting on this thing?
What they're also saying is that a lot of the McDonald's have the hand dryers that blow.
Yes.
Oh.
So everything blows
so
in
nasty.
the air.
Oh,
And-
that's
and
right.
Do not use the hand dryers. They literally blow poop particles all over the bathroom.
And
Don't
look,
use them
people are
for the
dirty.
love of all that is holy.
Right? People are dirty. That's
It's
just
so
me.
gross.
I know. And then we have we have
My pet peeves. You can tell.
It's like one of those Dr. Phil things where, like, you just said that, and now I'm going to be so paranoid every
well,
time.
see, that's where I'm at. See, that's where I'm at.
Ever since I
because,
read
look,
that story a few months ago, I've been paranoid.
because look,
should be.
We had the
Every
story.
time.
We had the story of the burger joint in Hawaii where the kids were seen. They Snapchatted frying a rat on the grill. And
I missed
next to
that.
the burgers, and so that that particular place is shut completely down. But now they're saying that it might not even have been real. So they're not. The restaurant is done.
Okay.
They fired the people, but they're not sure if it was real. We have romaine lettuce. We can't eat. Right, the lettuce is banned everywhere.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of food problems. We've had ice cream, Bluebell
Pat,
practically
were you
shut
really
down.
upset that we couldn't eat romaine lettuce?
Broke my
Devastated,
heart. It
heartbroken.
broke my
Well,
heart.
I'd like to see where the price gouging police are because I know iceberg lettuce has gone up. I personally
darn
haven't
it.
purchased any, but
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't
just,
either. I'm going to save a lot of money now.
yes, you're going to be able to save a lot more. But really, there are thousands, right? There's thousands of restaurants, and we go where we eat food, we order food, and we don't think anything about it. We give so much trust, so much trust to the restaurant and food industry, and I don't know how far I'm willing to give that trust anymore because of stories like this, and it's just.
And yet, what are you going to do? You're going to
I
stop
know
eating out
I
of
don't know.
restaurants?
I don't know. I mean,
You're not going to.
no, I am
Like
no,
Jeffy
no,
or
no.
just
Yeah,
in
like
general?
Jeffy. I know
No.
Jeffy's not going.
no.
Right.
But it's just it's so hard.
I know, it is.
Well, what
It is.
else was on those the McDonald's tablets were the staff.
Oh yeah,
Staph infection?
plenty of
Yeah.
Staph infections.
Does it live there?
there's-
It can exist.
It's possible.
On
It's-
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean they had all kinds of chloroforms and there was all kinds of stuff that if you were given it in a massive dose, you get sick. Now, most of the time you get a little bit of that and your body says, no, I don't think
if
so.
you
Kills
lick
it
the
off.
screen, it's probably not good for you.
Probably not good.
I
but
try to
neither is-
resist that.
Right, but I mean,
I never push the buttons with my tongue. First of all, my tongue is way too short to
Yeah.
do that, but
some people's aren't.
no, that's true.
Anyway, they're going to have to. Those people who use the touchscreen all the time, though, right, are going to have some sort of robots cleaning it off, some human standing there wiping those down,
Yeah.
or I mean, there's going to have to be
hand
something.
sanitizer next
See, that's
to.
what I think. That's what their solve is going
They
to be.
need
is
to.
here,
That's
what is that this year?
I'm telling you. I told you this is my pet peeve.
I know.
Every
I know.
time I use a touchscreen in a public place, I'm like, why do you not have hand sanitizer right
Why do
here?
you not just bring your own rubber gloves?
Well, think
I'm
about-
not joking.
Well,
Why
I do
don't you
bring my
just
own
bring a
hand
box
sanitizer.
Just bring a box of rubber gloves with you everywhere you go, and just put them on whenever you touch them. I'm not joking.
Think about all the touchscreens out there now, though. Like you go to the convenience
know.
store, you go to the grocery store. Now I'm never going to touch one of those things
Yeah,
again.
they're
know where-
scary. I
you know where else-
Just punching in at the grocery store.
Right.
Oh,
That's
my
what I was going to say. Even at the gas station, when I
Yes.
go out to punch
The
in for
pump,
my
the
gas.
pump itself,
Ooh,
the
it's so
buttons, the
gross.
screen, it's all bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
During flu season too, I just get especially paranoid.
I had a friend that used to bring a pair of gloves with
Yeah.
him that he'd put on, just work gloves that he'd put on to pump gas all the
People
time. He
would
would never
think I
touch
was-
them.
You know what's going to be
Legitimately
great though?
insane if I did that.
When we get nuked, the radiation will destroy all of the germs on the touchscreens. That'll be great.
that's one of the plus
Clean up
sides.
the gas touch screens, the McDonald's touch screens.
That's
It'll be
sweet.
nice.
It's a very
great,
glass is
right?
half full
Yeah.
for nuclear war.
We need to look at this in a better way.
Sweet. I'm kind of looking forward to that now.
I
There will
love.
be irradiation, and it'll kill all of
everything's
those
clean.
viruses. It's going to be great.
I
sir.
just love the way this show flows when Pat and Jeffy are on together. It's just a special kind of show. Let's get into the Mueller investigation, but let's take another quick break so we have time to dig into that.
Let's do.
Cute.
I think that's a good idea.
Plan.
Pat, appreciate that.
Muller, right?
Definitely Muller.
All right, the Mueller update. We were just discussing. It's Mueller, not Mueller.
Right.
All right. Give it to us, Jason.
So I'm not anti-Russia investigation, believe it or not. I think that there does need to be an investigation so we can finally put to bed.
I mean,
And
there
actually,
has been an investigation for the last 1,000 years.
yeah,
Not the kind of investigation you'd like to have, though.
Of what?
The Mueller investigation isn't one that you would like to have. You'd like to have an actual Russian investigation.
Right, and I want to find out if anything was done. I want them to find out. You know, I want them to find the people that are responsible, and if there was any kind of treason, I want them to find out. So it's something that I do want. I do think it's gone on too far. I think it's gone on too long, and I actually think that Mueller was granted a little bit too much power in going through with this. I think that some of these, you know, indicting random people for bank fraud that doesn't have anything to do with the investigation is probably going a little bit too far. But anyway, I'm getting concerned now with how Mueller is doing this. It seems very spiteful, in my opinion, and it's actually it could be hurting the country with the way that he's dropping these little bombs. The first time he did like a big indictment, he indicted 12 Russian military intelligence officials.
You can't do anything about anyway, right? Really?
No,
that was just, here I am indicting these people.
So completely pointless. It didn't have to be released at that point. You're never going to get those guys. It was all just for the media, basically to say, look, we're going after this, and this is who we fingered. That's all it was for. But he did it right before Trump was on the way to meet in a summit with President Putin.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, like, are you doing this specifically to derail that? Or it's obviously timed perfectly, you know, to get for the media to hit you right when you're there. That was the first one. The second one was yesterday when Trump was heading to Argentina for the G20. Really big meeting, really important. Personally, usually I laugh at the G20 because it seems kind of pointless. But I want Trump talking to China's president about the trade war. I want that to happen. I want there to be results on that.
That's still on, right?
That's still on.
Hashtag Tarifageddon.
Hashtag Tarifageddon. That's one of the biggest things I'm worried about. And one of my biggest criticisms on this administration. This is ridiculous. These tariffs need to go. So I want them to talk about it and resolve it. But right when they're on the way to go do this, he drops the Cohen bomb. And I'm like, again, it's like, is there anything to this? Because in the media, it was all like, oh my gosh, this is the ultimate sick burn smoking gun. And I'm like, really? Like, you look at it, and so this is what it is. So let's go back to 2014. Donald Trump Jr. said that they stopped discussing the Trump Tower in Moscow deal around 2014. It was done by then. Well, Michael Cohen told Congress, I guess in his 70-hour marathon interview, that, this was before. That was before. When he testified to Congress, he said that they stopped in January 2016, so conflicting with Donald Trump Jr. Well, apparently in this 70-hour interview or whatever, he confessed to Mueller that he lied to Congress, and they actually continued to have discussions up through the summer, like June or July or something like that. So now, again, Mueller's got another one of Trump's, inner circle on, perjury, but the thing is that if you lie about something to Congress, typically they're never even indicted over it. There's usually never any kind of ramification for it.
Well, there's plenty of people that have lied and gotten away with it.
Clapper, for one. I mean, I can just rattle off a bunch of people that were under the Obama administration. Exactly. Like, nothing has ever happened to them. So I'm like, what does this do for? Why did you have to come out like this right during this time? Why did you have to release that? Because the deal never went through, and even if it did happen, Trump did, deny that he was still in some kind of like negotiation with or had any business dealing with the Russians. But it was in public forum. It wasn't in like any kind of under oath, unless in that his written responses that was one of the discussions that one of the questions he answered in his under oath written response. Yeah, but we don't know.
No, we don't. But
we don't.
Even if Michael Cohen was doing this deal, that doesn't mean Trump was a part of it.
He would have to provide some kind of document. Again, that's a very good point. Right. There would have to be a written contract. Right. Donald Trump, something like that, or an email.
He could still be able to say that I told him to wrap it up.
His word against his, unless he has something to back it up.
But also, if he was talking about doing something, that doesn't mean he had a deal. What he's always denied is, I had no deal with Russia.
Right.
I got no deal. Well, that could be true if you're just talking about doing a building, right? A Trump Tower in Moscow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I saw other headlines talking about they were part of the deal that they were talking about was giving Putin the upper echelon floors of the hotel or whatever. But deal, so what?
Yeah.
So it never happened.
Right.
Yeah. I know you want an investigation. I'm so sick of hearing about it. So tired of hearing about it. Either show us something or leave it alone.
I want him to complete
We've got more coming up in Overtime. Join us. We'll see you in a minute.